I feel like there should be a betting pool at this point to find out when the hell we're actually going to hear about some positive news from the Konami camp. We just keep on getting shit after shit after shit after shit, and I'm just wondering when the fuck is the company going to implode and just cave in entirely. So, we have reports right now detailing the extremely shitty working conditions that the Konami staff have to endure day in and day out, and no fucking wonder why everybody there wants to up and leave and why company morale is at an all-time fucking low. Not shocking in the slightest whenever you're going and doing such things as making fools out of your employees who might go out on a lunch break and stay a couple minutes too late, so you announce it publicly over all of the intercoms. Because everybody needs to know that, and public shaming is exactly the best way to go and handle a situation like that. You know, if anybody's leaving the company and they announce it on social media, if anyone else who works for the company and is friends with that individual, and they just so happen to like that status or comment on that status in a positive way, then guess what? You're going to be fist fucked. Absolutely fist fucked. Because they're going to start shuffling your job around and putting you anywhere and everywhere. And they've actually done that with other development staff. See, a long time ago, if they had developers who were making games that weren't exactly up to snuff whenever it came to critical praise or just overall sales worldwide, then they did things like this. They created something such as Team Silent, where they got all the misfits together, not the actual band, but they got all the misfits of the development crew at Konami to go and make something even better, and just let them off the chain, off the reins, and do whatever they needed to do. Now, they go and send them off to fitness centers, to work at Konami fitness centers, and to off to the pachinko slot machine vendor areas. You go work there. Oh, guess what? We have an opening in janitorial staff. You go and work there. We know that we hired you for your expertise within game developing, and keep in mind, this isn't just like coders and programmers or people who just work in audio. No, this could be for like producers and directors. So anybody and everybody can get blacklisted off this shit. It's just, that's insane. Why the fuck would you ever think to go and squander talent like that? You know, there's so many companies out there that would kill to have the actual team members that you're just throwing out to the fucking sharks to do menial tasks that anybody else would be able to do, and they're supposed to be producing content, and that's how you're treating them? What kind of fucking world do we live in? Why is it that you have your developers, the people who are working on your games, not connected to the internet? Why is this a thing exactly? Are you so fucking freaked out with the notion of them being connected to the internet? You think that suddenly, you know, this open gateway shit's gonna happen? That's fucking insane. You won't even give them a straight up company email. This shit gets changed every couple of months. So, if you had met somebody maybe about a year ago, and then they need to get in contact with you, tough fucking shit. You've gone through like 4 emails since then. Why? I mean, you have cameras that are set up all throughout your headquarters that are monitoring the movements of your employees. Not the actual safety of the building and everything inside and the people inside, no. To specifically monitor the individuals who work for you, to just keep an eye on them. Why is this a fucking thing? I kept reading through this list, and I'm just like, why does anybody even want to work for you? I would just have everybody quit at the same time and go elsewhere. I mean, shit, it's been plain as day and evident to anybody with any amount of common sense, with a fully functioning frontal lobe, that you do not give 2 fucks about gaming as it is. You are, the only thing when it comes to gaming that you're even somewhat kind of concerned with is the aspects of like social media bullshit games and mobile games, just anything that only costs you a couple dimes to throw together and put out there and try to make all your money back. well, with your little bullshit microtransactions and the quote-unquote free-to-play, but really isn't free-to-play, it's just free to download and click the game, like, oh, now you need money for it. That's what you're concerned with. That's what you want. You don't want all these AAA caliber titles anymore, because that takes time and money and effort to be invested into, and you wonder why everybody just looks at you as a fucking laughingstock. But then, you're treating your company like this. I've heard so many horror stories about game studios who treat their employees like ass altogether. Electronic Arts was put very high on that list, but it seems that Konami wants to go and really grasp for that brass ring and be like, no, we can treat them even worse. We'll show you. This is absurd. I mean, I already know that you have them working strenuous amounts of hours to go and meet deadlines that are borderline impossible to meet, but they have to meet them. You have them contractually obligated to ensure that they don't ever fucking say a single thing to anybody outside of the company about the inner workings of the company, or else they'll be subject to tons of fines, fired, and even jail time, because that's how these motherfuckers like to work. Oh no, don't ever say anything about that. We don't want people knowing how fucked up we are. But then when it starts to just fall through the cracks, and it becomes very obvious of how screwed up you are, where do you go from there? I just really think that everybody should quit and just go off to a ton of other different companies, because it's obvious you don't want to treat your fans well, and you don't want to treat your development staff well, so why the fuck should anybody care about you? And it's all these people who are at the top. I mean, I know we get angry at a name and a logo, Konami, right? No, there are people who are in charge of this company that make these decisions every single day to treat all these people like shit. Those are the people I hold accountable for all the bad shit going on. They have the final say. They're the fucked up ones. I don't have an exact list in front of me, but I sure as shit can go and do a small, minimal amount of research to find out exactly the who's who of the upper brass whenever it comes to Konami and who's the biggest fuck-ups there. Who's the one going and signing off on shit, voting yay or nay, to going and doing these kind of fucked up things? Like, why? I don't get it. Why? You know, how did you turn into such a shit company? That's the thing that I'm curious about. How is it like within the 2000s, everything was cool, but like around 2010, just right down the shitter. Fucking done. You know, I've talked about other companies being pretty fucking bad, but it seems that you just want to outshine them on a level of absurd, shitty, awful behavior. I mean, I don't get this. I don't understand this. I'm not surprised either, which is the bad part. I mean, if somebody told me that, like, you know, Nintendo treats all their employees bad, which it's actually been put out there publicly. Nintendo treats their companies and internal staff very well. Multiple times it's been said. Just as an example, you know, there's a lot of companies out there that enjoy working for the companies that they do. I mean, this is something that they had strived for, that they made it into the business. You know, they're finally working for a reputable company, but then someone like you takes that reputation and shits all over it, and you just don't give a damn at all about that. I mean, you went from making some of the best, most legendarily badass games in the entire world. You have some of the most recognizable characters in all of gaming, some of the most recognizable franchises in all of gaming. And this is what you're doing with them, this is what you're doing with your staff, and this is what you're doing with your reputation, and this is what you're doing to your fans. At this point, I say just cash out. Get done with it. You don't give a fuck anymore, so quit doing this kind of shit. You know, I already know that you have your hands in all sorts of different shit, and you make your money very well outside of gaming, so you're just fine. You won't be a sinking ship anytime soon. Your gaming division, on the other hand, has holes that are fucking huge. We could drive fucking Pluto through that bitch, and there'd be room to spare on the sides. That right there is sad. I don't even know how else to put it. It's just sad to see a company like that. And I get everybody wants to be like, fuck you, Konami, and all this other shit, and that's good. But at the end of it all, I just feel sad. Because I respect everything that they had made. I respect many of the people that had worked for you. Worked. Past tense. Keep in mind. And so many of them just up and fucking left. You wanna know why? Because you fucking suck at putting the right people in charge. They don't give a damn at all. Why should we give a damn? This is why I don't want to go and support something such as Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. And some people might argue that, well, you should support it because of Hideo Kojima. I'll support everything he does outside of Konami. And that's true. I'll support that. You know, Iga, yeah, I'll support him. The whole Bloodstain thing, absolutely fucking fine. All the people that are part of Team Silent, yeah, I want to go and support all of them. But I don't want to support anything that has a Konami name on it ever again. The only way that I would even think of it is if you somehow made amends for all of the shit that you have done. That's the only way, and I know I'm one person, big fucking deal, right? I don't carry much weight with my words, that's fine, because I'm only one person. One wallet, one bank account, that's shit, right? Not a big deal. But I'm not the only person who thinks this way, and I'm not the only person who feels this way, and I'm not the only person who knows what the fuck you're doing and how awful it is. So allow that to just keep on building and building until shit has to give way and cave in. You could just count down the minutes. It's bad. So where does Konami go from here? Konami, be smart. Sell off your gaming division. Sell off the franchise. Sell off the development staff. Sell off the studios. Sell off all the intellectual rights and properties to everything. Just be fucking done with it. Wash your hands of it and be done. Give it off to companies that will do something with it, that will respect the people that are working for them, that are putting out this shit that we actually enjoy, but you should fucking respect them because the only reason that your company's worth a damn is because those fucking people worked their goddamn hands to the bone. And through tireless effort, put out works of fucking fiction that are amazing, that everybody enjoys, and you could give a fuck less. You can give a fuck less about them, and you could give a fuck less about the people that buy them to support your fucking company so you can continue to shit on everything. So just sell it off. Sell it off, be done with it, don't look back, we won't have to look at you, and your namesake will just be something that we look at in the past, and it might have ended poorly, but at least there was a much happier future for it, because you decided to go and make a decision like that. And you know, I'm just gonna stick with the hashtag of hashtag fuck you Konami, because treating people like this is fucking wrong, and that's common sense. I shouldn't have to fucking explain that, but apparently common sense is very fucking uncommon. Either way, this is AlphaOmegaSin, as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers game the fuck on. Except for you, Konami. Fuck you.